afternoon. I'm John Galante. I am the president of AE Ventures. I am thrilled to welcome you all here for our kickoff session for the high volume track of sessions within the Tech Home Builder brand. What I've got up on screen here is a little bit about our mission on the Tech Home Builder side of things. I kind of cut the I bucket the benefits in two major areas, offers and process. And what we're trying to do is get you to expand and improve both offers and process as it pertains to home technology. And so when we talk about offers, part of what we're looking at there is this fancy word taxonomy. It's basically the classification system. It's a set of categories that help you think in an organized fashion about what you could possibly do with technology. We actually talk about this being something that you can use as a merchandise perspective in terms of laying out the categories of offers that you have. But we want you to understand all the products that are available, and that this goes beyond the low voltage and electronics, which will be a large part of our focus for this panel, but it goes beyond into a lot of the mechanical and electrical systems and even major appliances, the way we look at the tech home. The room by room is another way we encourage you to look at tech, because you've got activities and purposes for rooms, and different types of technology are enhancements to that. Let's see if I got control again. No, I don't. And another way we ask you to look at technology is, we call it surging and emerging applications. And that's basically about playing the trends, right? Certain things become hot or on the horizon at various times, and how are you aware of that and making an assessment as to how you want to play the trends. And then the other area beyond the offers and expanding and improving your offers is the process side of things. And I think this has been something that's been ignored historically. We've talked a lot about product to builders, and we haven't really embraced all of the process supports that you all need to make technology a successful category for you. But the first piece is strategic intent, right? And that's about, what do you want to do with tech? And I think for a long time we've talked about tech as a competitive differentiator. Purpose of this panel is for us to get beyond that and start talking about it as a real moneymaker. I think we're at that stage in the evolution that can become a strategic intent for you with regard to technology. Sales and marketing is another place where we like to try to work with you. Sales and marketing is another area, and I like to look at this two ways. There's one way is, if you're going to make an investment in technology, standards, options, however you've made that investment, how do you get lift overall for your homes and for your communities by the fact that you've got a tech play? And then on the options side of things, how are you going to asset the marketing and the sales process so that you get robust take rates for the different technology packages that you offer? The design and production side is what goes next. And when we get to, I'm going to just jump in here. When we get to our third session of this program, which I will not be moderating, it'll be Sean Weiner, we're going to talk about formal design and engineering of technology, having a technology layer in your construction drawings. John, you're going to be part of that panel, so that we can have more cost-effective execution on the job site, so that we can do things more aesthetically, so that we can show the buyer why they're paying a differential for an installed and built-in solution versus something that they might get at retail and slap on. I'm going to go back here. The last two squares are something I think that's been problematic for home technology for years, but a lot of the players on this panel are doing a great job on, which is the user experience, right? So it starts with the onboarding and the initial education and those quick refreshes, and then it's the long-term support. So we don't want technology to be a net negative on your Net Promoter Score. We want it to be a positive. That takes planning. It takes the right sort of partners. So those are the process areas that we like to pulse on with Tech Home Builder. And then just jumping ahead to the overall program for the next 2.5 days. Right here, we're tackling this idea of smart home as a profit center, which I think speaks to the strategic intent piece. We've got technology for gathering in private rooms. I saw Janet from Shea Homes here is going to be on that panel, but that addresses that room by room approach to expanding and improving your offers. We talked a little bit about the tech layer and construction drawings, the surging and emerging applications. This is 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag. I don't know whether we're going to get through all 12. I have a lot of slides. We have to cut them down, but that will speak to that playing the trends ideal. And then the other piece at the very end is about artificial intelligence and how it may start to change the game on the smart home. And that's just a key enabling technology that I think is going to cut across all product categories. So that's our plan for the next 2.5 days in terms of the 5 sessions. This is some quick research, or it was just pulled together here recently. Our account manager who calls on builders is doing a lot of research looking at your websites to understand how strongly you're promoting, whether you have offers and how strongly you're promoting them. And we do that across 5 or 6 home technology categories and some digital solutions categories and such. But we're just able to do some analysis on a relatively small sample, about 120 companies. But this is really interesting in terms of who's promoting a strong offer, and smart home security is really our topic today. And we can see the big guys are doing a lot with it, and the regional or less than $1 billion a year companies are not doing as much. This is still the most popular and common category for builders to be offering a play in, but it's interesting the disparity between the haves and the have-nots, or the do's and the do-nots that come up on this slide. So that's my overview, and now we're going to dive into this topic of smart home as a profit center. This session is sponsored by Alarm.com in Madison, and Adria will talk a little later about Alarm.com. But here's our plan for the session. You can see we've got a great lineup. We've got, in alphabetical order, we've got Barrett Davis, who's the president and founder of Enter Now, which is a self-guided tour operator. And you've got probably 3 or 4 other businesses that I'm not 100% aware of, but he's a serial entrepreneur who's really got one of the key plays in self-guided tours. We've got Cassidy Daybell, who's with Johnson Controls Inc. /Qualsys /DSC. There's a lot of slashes. So she's been a point person for builder relationships for that company for a number of years. We have Alan Dawsey, who's with Homebound. He's out of Houston, Texas. Homebound is, we're gonna hear more about what Homebound is, but I think you're a newer company that's fast growing, and you've got a lot of experience in some more traditional names, but applying your expertise to this newer company that's trying to grow fast, and I'm sure is growing fast. We have April Maloney right next to me, who's the VP of Sales for Guardian Protection, and on point for the Builder program that is so strong and has been so strong for so many years for Guardian. And then Madison Bowles Saab. The Bulls disappeared, but it came back to my memory. Madison, who's on point on the builder relationships for Alarm.com, and wearing an Alarm.com colored blazer today. Very nice.
Represent.
So we're gonna cover a variety of topics here that speak to this issue of how can home technology, or that smart home security piece in particular, be profitable for builders. And it's going to be a set of serial presentations, and then Alan's very entertained by this idea that he's going to give hot takes, like somebody on an ESPN show at the conclusion of each of these presentations. You're the Greek chorus. Let's put it in a more high-end, esoteric way. You're the Greek chorus representing the voice of the builders up here. So take your responsibility seriously, will you? Okay. And so we'll go session by session, and then I'll do a little, we'll hear from Alarm.com and Adria, Madison's colleague, and then I'll do a little wrap up, and that'll be it for our first session. With that, I'm handing the magic wand to you, April.